jump season obviously resuming. It's obviously started there in Limerick in Ireland. But I found quite interesting is I wanted to question you on how would you say quarantine's been treating you, and would you say it's tough to stay in shape over the 3 months you've been in lockdown? Because obviously, a lot of gyms have been closed, and I'm pretty sure the stables and whatnot would have had very tight restrictions due to the likes of social distancing.
Yeah, I struggle with my weight anyway. Like when I was 16, 17 playing rugby at school, I was like 12 stone. So I struggled. So I got it down to about 9.5 when I was about 18, 19. And then I broke my back because I was doing like way too much exercise, not eating enough. I was just doing it all wrong. So I was kind of settling around 10.6 last year, so just under 10.5 stone. And when racing finished the week after Cheltenham, I left the races the last day of racing 10.7. I woke up a week later and I was 11.6. So I put up a stone in a week, and that wasn't even like going out for takeaways or anything like that. It was just like not in the routine, not racing. So like I weighed myself then, and then I just gave up weighing myself because when they cancelled racing like indefinitely for a few months, I was just like, I get depressed if I keep weighing myself. So I didn't leave it go, but I just didn't think about it and just kind of acted normal for a few months, and it was nice that way. But I felt heavy. At the end of April, middle of May, like I felt heavy. Yeah. I was still cycling. I got into cycling a lot this year. I think a lot of jockeys, especially if we've been lucky, like the weather's been good. Been getting into cycling a lot. That's kind of helped like keep a base layer of fitness, but obviously like it's nothing like match fitness. Like it is completely different. So the last month I've kind of got really stuck back into it, and I haven't weighed myself properly yet, but I think I definitely hit 12 stone again, but we're getting back to about just under 11 stone now, so we're getting there.
No, that sounds really, really good to be fair.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, everyone's in the same position actually, so it wasn't. I wasn't too worried about it because everyone was kind of in the same position. Riding out was weird because like a lot of jump trainers put their horses out in the field. Like Dad, obviously, I go in there a few times a week in the winter, and he only had 3 in, and like normally he has 100, so it was very, very strange. So and like them horses were only kind of ticking over. They weren't doing like proper work. So I was kept busy. Like Dad's got plenty of fields to the fencing to fix and paint and cut loads of grass and stuff like that. So I was kept busy, but and kept occupied. But yeah, definitely just completely out of routine. But everyone was kind of the same, I think.
Oh, glad to hear. Well, it's always good to obviously get somewhat normality, and you can't always be obsessed with weight. It's like even when I'm training in the gym, you can't be constantly every day. Sometimes you need to revert back. But no, glad to hear you're back, and we're really looking forward to making your return to jump season.
It's me. So obviously, like I said, you've been keeping busy. Have you been off to the stables much? Have you been schooling at all, up on the gallops? Has that started yet, or have you?
Yeah, so I've been the last month. Dad kind of had 25 in, and so we're starting to ride out, and it's probably about 5 of us that ride now. Well, Mum and Dad actually started riding out a couple of lots, which was kind of Dad hasn't been on a horse for 30 years, so I'd say lockdowns did some crazy stuff to some people, I think.
Yeah.
But so they helped out a bit, and the last 2 weeks I've gone back to Colin Tizard's once a week and started schooling. So I think that'll have about 20 in for the summer. So yeah, we're slowly getting back into the routine, so it's nice.
And then what do you know kind of when you kind of expected to get back into like full routine at all?
In July, I think they've scheduled 18 meetings in July. So they've got racing on the 1st, which is next Wednesday, and then there's nothing then to the 6th, so the following Monday, which is a bit strange, but it's the way it is. And then it's kind of near enough racing every other day. So I mean, it's better than nothing. Obviously, the flat is the priority at the minute, and then I think August, it's getting a bit more racing every day, but I think there's 3 5-day breaks. Usually we have a 12-day break in August. Obviously, like we've kind of had like 3-month breaks, so we're not going to get that. But I think we're having a few mini breaks. Yeah. So hopefully, maybe they can. So the lockdown might lift a little bit more, and we can get away for a few days. But we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Nice for sure.
Good.
Hand on to Luke.
So something that we actually witnessed on the February 8th was the Denman Chase at Newbury, if you remember. What was it like to be called upon by Colin and to ride Native River in that grade too?
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity. Obviously, it was unfortunate for Dickie. It's his ride. Colin could have gone for any of his other jockeys. Robbie Power and Cobden. He could have gone for anyone, but it was nice that he chose me. I suppose if Dickie hadn't got back for the Gold Cup, Cobden and Robbie had rides in the Gold Cup, so they probably wanted someone that didn't necessarily have a ride at the time. It was a huge leap of faith for them because at the time I'd only just turned professional, but I was lucky. I was riding plenty of winners from kind of in the months before, to actually ride him, like he's different gravy. He's he's a Gold Cup winner, but he's a cut above the rest.
Was there a tactic, or do you remember anything in particular that you got told that you had to do, or was it literally as easy as being taken around by the horse?
Not really. I mean, he's quite a lazy kind of horse. So he's not a steering job necessarily, but he was probably the best horse in the race by a long way. And even though the ground wasn't that soft, it looked like he had it. It was his to lose rather than anything else. I spoke to Dickie. Obviously, I'd watched him for his whole career because he was running in all the top races and stuff. But I spoke to Dickie in the morning and Colin, and it was pretty standard what he was going to do. He was going to go out and make all and just make a nice gallop. But I didn't really force him. I didn't think there was really no need to force him early on because it's all about keeping them in their comfort zones. And he was the class horse in the race, and he jumped for fun, and he did it. He did it quite smart in the end. It was a shame. The ground probably wasn't going to be soft enough for him in the Gold Cup as it turned out, but I think he'd have been a live chance.
Mm. Well, he was also potentially going to the Grand National, wasn't he?
Yeah, if the owners decided to go that way, I don't know if he's 11 next year. The National definitely would be something that would really suit him. What he had last year, but he had a really nice weight if he went for it this year. But he's a horse of a lifetime, and the owners really take care of the horses. So I can understand. It's completely their decision. But hopefully he'll be back next year, and they might have a chance at it.
Sounds good. This next question is an interesting one, and I'm going to take a guess at it before you answer. It is basically to do with what was your best personal moment of 2019/2020 season. I'm going to presume, correct me if I'm wrong, that it was one of the days in Cheltenham on the last races on early doors, JP McManus, that went off at 5-1. You absolutely hacked up from the rear to win by a solid, I think it was 2 lengths. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, definitely. The first, I've only had one Cheltenham Festival winner, but the first is obviously very memorable. There's no place like Cheltenham. It's unbelievable, the atmosphere. It's the Olympics of jump racing. I know flat racing, there's Royal Ascot and stuff, but there's loads of other big races around the year. In jump racing, everything is geared towards Cheltenham. So it's the pinnacle of our kind of sport. So it's to have he was obviously he was fancied. I think he came third in it the year before. He was second in the Grade 1. It looked like he had a really good chance. Things didn't work out exactly how we wanted it to. Start with, I was supposed to be handy enough with a bit of room and just try and keep it simple, but I think it was a standing start, and he ducked back at the tape, so we didn't get the start we wanted to, but down the back he made quite a lot of ground up and got himself into a nice position. And then, I think he had Dallas to pick Tom or something like that to aim at. but we were rolling all the way up straight, and he stays very well, and he knew Cheltenham as well. So yeah, no, it was good. It was nice to ride it for Joseph as well, because obviously we go back a bit from families and stuff, and obviously for JP, he's a very good supporter of mine and Dad's and everyone. So it was nice. It was a very special day.
Yeah, that was a brilliant win. That made up serious headway. So yeah, no, I thought we definitely ask that question, because it's always quite interesting, and sometimes you're surprised by the answers you actually do get. So again, we're glad for you. That's a massive Grade 1 win, and hopefully there's many more of them to come. On to the next question, Mr. Neil.
I've got kind of a side question from the ones you already got right now. What's it like, kind of hearing that roar coming up the Cheltenham Hill? Does it spur you on a bit more, or are you kind of so zoned in you can't really hear it?
I mean, in normal races, like at different race courses, I never hear the crowd ever. Even if it's a big day at Ascot or something like that, you just don't, because you're just in the mode, and you just don't hear it. But Cheltenham is the only place where you do hear it, because it's just so loud. Like going rode in the Gold Cup this year, and going past the second time going out for the last circuit, like you really would put heads in the back of your neck, like it is pretty. It's very cool.
Oh, cool. So kind of another kind of looking back last year, now looking forward. Do you have any aspirations you want to achieve for the upcoming season?
I mean, it's going to be harder for me next year. I was champion conditional this year. I've no claim now. I can't ride in the conditional races, so that's probably a few winners kind of that I can't ride anymore. I was in the top 10. I was 10th in the championship this year, so definitely want to be in the top 10 again, cement my position, and maybe work myself up a little bit more the ladder. You need a lot of support. It's grand saying like I want to be champion jockey next year or whatever, but like you've got to be very realistic and look at the people who you ride for, and look at the places where you can get winners from. I'm very lucky that that Dad supports me, and also Colin has been supporting me a lot recently in the last year or so. So that's two powerful stables to be riding for. So I am lucky in that way. But you've got to stay very injury free. I had even though I had a very good year last year, I had 4 months off between breaking my jaw and a couple of bands either side of that as well. So I'd like to have seen where I got to with the 4 months racing as well. So hopefully if I can have I know we've started a few months late, but if I can I've never actually had a clear season of no proper suspensions or injuries. So that's what I'd really like to do this year, and kind of just have a clean sailing of just riding and riding plenty. So hopefully we can just have no hold-ups this year.
Yeah, all the best. All the best for you, because I'm sure you've got the talent for it, so it's definitely possible.
And then again, looking ahead, are there any, maybe for our inside info or just excitement, are there any horses you personally are looking forward to getting on or riding against as such for this season?
Dad's got a lovely horse called Soaring Glory. He won in Warwick a bumper last year, then he won at Ascot. And he beat a good field that day, I think. And then he went to Ascot for a listed bumper in Christmas time and he came second. He got beat by Israel Sham. Stuff really didn't happen for him that day, and the ground was very, very heavy, which wouldn't have been to his liking. But I think he's a very smart horse. I saw him yesterday out in the field. He seems to have done really, really well. I think he's strengthened up an awful lot. So we're really looking forward to him. He'll start over hurdles now. Really looking forward to him. I think he could be one of Dad's nicest ones he's got at the minute is youngsters. Then Tizard's, he's got an array of loads of really good novice hurdlers last year. So I imagine a lot of them will be going novice chasing. His nicest one last year, I think, was probably the big breakaway. Obviously, not all of Colin's fired at Cheltenham. But I thought he ran really well to come fourth in a really competitive Ballymore, and I think he's the real deal. So I'd really like to see him whether he stays over hurdles, he hasn't got loads of experience, or goes chasing. It'd be really nice to ride him, but I don't think Robbie will be getting off him too easy either.
Yeah.
No. With regards to building on that, I think Soaring Glory actually, I bet on that actually on his debut when it came to Ascot, and I think you rode it at 9-1 or 8-1, and it hacked up quite a fair few lengths, and it was beaten by a really good David Pipe horse, and that Class 1 Ascot listed race. So I think that's definitely one to note for sure. This is quite a bit of a different question. In the jockeys, in the waiting room before the races, who would you say from your experience is the most chirpiest? Like, who really pipes up, and who really talks, or is everyone just individually a lot more focused and headphones in, and they're sort of really trying to focus on getting the job done that's ahead of them?
Everyone's different. I mean, the jump to waiting room is great crack. The camaraderie is second to none there, and it's kind of it's very strange and different to any other sport, because we're all obviously competing, but we all get changed and we all socialise in the same room, which is it just doesn't happen in other sports. You're mixing different. But I think, and a lot of us share lifts. We're going racing long distances up north and stuff. A lot like there'll be 4 or 5 of us that will get up in the same car and we'll all share lifts. So we are a very close knit community, and I think because I think it's 1 in 10 rides you get, you're gonna have a fall on statistics. So a lot of us are aware for each other, and obviously you want everyone to stay kind of in one piece. And stuff. We do look out for each other. Who's the most? Everyone is very different the way that they get to races. There are definitely a few characters. Matty Batcher would definitely be the chirpiest, although he didn't ride too much anymore. Tom Skew used to go to my school as well, and he's a very intelligent, witty man. He's a good lad. But there are a few characters in there. There are. Yeah.
Cheers to that, man. I think Neil's got another interesting question for you.
Yeah, then out of all the race courses, there's so many in England, everywhere. What's your favourite? Not necessarily crowds, but maybe just the conditions, the facilities, all that kind of thing.
Well, Cheltenham's definitely my favourite because I live half an hour away, most of my life, and kind of I remember going to school, missing school during Cheltenham, and running up in a taxi about 5 minutes before the first race and flying through the track, getting in. So Cheltenham will always be my favourite. But Chepstow, as a track to ride, Chepstow is beautiful because it's very undulating. It's up and down. The fences ride lovely around there. It's almost 2 miles round. A bumper there is literally just 1 lap. You start at the finish line 1 lap, which is not really any other race. Maybe Newbury will be similar. I love Chepstow. Also, there's loads of time. Rarely many excuses. But I've kind of been lucky at different other places, like Catterick up north. They put actually some decent facilities the last year or so. They've put in a new weighing room and stuff like that. But it's very different. It's the complete opposite to Chepstow. It's very tight, very small. It's more of a greyhound track than a big galloping track. It's a very quick track, and usually horses win off the front end around there. But I've had a few winners there this year, and it's been quite lucky. And I knew a few people local, so kind of little things like that kind of they don't necessarily have to be the best tracks, I think, but just kind of wherever I have winners, you have a few bogey tracks as well.
And then finally, probably maybe the hardest question: if you had to ride a winner, or later on in life train a winner at either the Gold Cup or the Grand National, which one would you choose to ride a winner at, and which one would you choose to train a winner at?
I would imagine, as a jockey, I'd definitely like to win the Gold Cup because it's the most prestigious race in jump racing. I know the National is the most well-known race, but the Gold Cup is the creme de la creme, and if you're winning the Gold Cup, usually you're riding the best the best horse in jump racing of that year.
Yeah.
Probably the Gold Cup, but I definitely you would take the Grand National as well if it was coming your way.